Hello everybody, Jay Honcho back with another StarCraft 2 replay. This one is going to be IdrA, of course, welcoming everybody and imploring that everybody has fun while watching or casting this. I'm gonna have fun because this is gonna be IdrA versus Sen on Lost Temple. If you don't know who Sen is, do yourself a favor, find him. Look him up for casts, replays, whatever. He's a great player. And as these overlords do cross the gulf into each other's spawns, I just want to point out that since both players probably know what's going to happen, with each other in the early game before queens get out, they have kind of a great amount of wiggle room. They get free scouting, they don't have to worry about any sort of cheese, especially since Zerg have to build on creep. So we might be seeing a little bit more macro-oriented game, which is just fine with IdrA, because that's how he plays anyway. He is most commonly noted for getting 14 pulls, 15 hatches. So we might see that. We might not. We might see something completely different. Or maybe just a hatchery straight off the bat from both players. I don't know. That's what I would do in this situation, I think. Of course, it is up to them to actually do it. So, as we see, they are doing the exact same thing. In fact, sending a drone out at the exact same time, going to be building hatchery at darn near the same exact time, so not a lot of variety in this build for either player. But it looks as though IdrA does have two eggs, or cocoons they call them now, before Sen has one, so a little bit better larva management by IdrA. And both players looking to put down some extractors. Not uncommon, because what you want to do, this signals that they're going to be putting down a spawning pool shortly thereafter. And what happens is, if you get an extractor right before a spawning pool, and as soon as this extractor decides to take its merry time popping, you load it up with drones, and by the time the spawning pool finally gets done, you will have at minimum 100 gas. That allows you to get metabolic boost for your Zerglings extraordinarily fast. I'm talking like if you had saved up for stim right after you get your tech lab, which I doubt most people would do, but that's how fast it actually is. So unit-wise, IdrA a little bit ahead in terms of drones and larva, and as soon as this overlord comes up, we will see more drones come up, and he might be saving for some Zerglings, I'm not sure. In production tab, we don't see any yet, so both players content to drone hard. We do have queens on both hatcheries for both IdrA and Sen, so pretty similar builds, except for this. In the production tab, we do see that instead of metabolic boost for Zerglings, he's getting a Roach Warren. And I'm not sure that Sen saw this, so he did not see this. Sen did not see the spawning pool. No, that'd be a hell of a tongue twister, of course. Although we don't have many other S's for the Zerg, unfortunately. But Sen also getting a Roach Warren down, and I'm not sure exactly when this was played, so I don't know if roaches are 2 supply, if they have only 2 upgrades as opposed to the 3 they used to have. We'll find that out as soon as this merge. Oh, it's already done. So this is patch 15 or something along those lines. So we will be seeing 2 supply roaches with only 2 upgrades, which of course means that these tunneling claws do also provide the regeneration that they didn't get till Hive Tech, which was kind of ridiculous anyway. But unit-wise, we see that IdrA is droning hard, although these speedlings are going to be putting on some major pressure. I think we have 10 here? 10 here, yeah. Look at that, I can count. But IdrA makes a bit of a insert blunder word here, so a gaffe, a blunder, a mistake, and allows him into his base, which kind of eats away a little bit, taking down 2 drones. But Sen able to kind of keep these alive, keep IdrA focused on these speedlings as opposed to making units, trying to break the concentration, although that doesn't really happen with a pro player like IdrA. He's able to multitask very, very well, and I envy him very, very much. So these speedlings able to just run around as much as possible. I'm not sure exactly why that Zergling decided to stop and attack those roaches, but they're able just to glide around the base, and more speedlings coming in here for Sen. So interesting. Go back to the production tab. A lot of roaches on the way for Sen, and he's still got Zerglings here in IdrA's main. I'm not sure that he's too worried about it, sending one lone roach here to deal with it as they run in here, and looks like IdrA will be taking care of them quite soon. But again, he's just keeping that Zergling alive, allowing himself the opportunity to mass more units and get them maybe up to the firing line. IdrA, of course, still enjoying a slight economic advantage, although with the units lost, I mean, it's pretty even, but it's misleading. All those lost for Sen were speedlings, while IdrA had a few Zerglings as well as a few drones mixed in there. So even though Sen's lost more, he's done more damage to IdrA than what was done to him, because he's quickly able to replace Zerglings 25 minerals a pop versus drones economic production as well as 50 minerals. So Sen moving out with these roaches, although we are seeing speed research being researched by IdrA, so he's starting to construct that creep hideaway, trying to mount an offensive with a slightly superior economy. But at this point, IdrA has to fend off a buttload of speedlings with more coming into the frame. He is trying to kite them away, make these back roaches not be able to fire off a shot, but he's gotten stuck a little bit. Queen gonna go down. Roaches on roach violence with speedlings to start to take care of these drones not doing much. If you don't target fire them or tell them to explicitly attack, they'll just stand there looking really stupid. So a little bit of a mistake there by IdrA, but can't fault him for it. He was dealing with production. He probably has another queen on the way, or at least his queen coming down from up here. No, not yet. But he does block the ramp. Good. Don't want to let speedlings into your main. It's so much harder to defend than an expansion. But looks like Sen being knocked away, at least for a little bit, allowing his speedlings the time to get up to the front and tank the damage for these roaches, which will be the primary damage dealers. IdrA, of course, now having roach speed, is able to whittle away these roaches coming out, and able to take down a small group of speedlings fairly fast. But more and more units streaming here for Sen. I'm not exactly sure how he's going to respond to this, but just this queen, being the assassin she is going to be able to take down this limping overlord away, and Sen is going to be retreating all his overlords that he previously had sent down there. And he's got a pretty good force of speedlings here. More on the way, a lot more. If we look at the unit counting station, which it's a horrible habit I picked up from Husky, he does have a veritable cornucopia of Zerglings, 48 in fact. And IdrA on the offensive now, gonna be doing a little bit of damage. Oh, Sen getting a great surround on these roaches. I think this might be a failed attack for IdrA, actually, because there's not much you can do when your roaches get surrounded quite like that. And of course, the queen even moving down for a couple hits. She's got 5 kills. That's beyond ridiculous. So all these roaches going down for IdrA. Counter push incoming for Sen, and with all these over